Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Age of the Rings cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Hollin. Playing as the forces of Rivendell, we've got thena, and playing as the forces of Isengard, we've got TheRealSto. So, quite a nice relaxing 1v1 as opposed to the mad 7-player free-for-all that we had the other week. We've got the slow expanding forces of Isengard, going for that potential Uruk mad ball in the late game, but just chilling out some other bits and bobs, maybe some pirates as we go into the early game and stuff. And Rivendell over here, potential some hobbits. In fact, are we seeing hobbit thing going on? Yes, we're seeing the Breland encampment, so potential little folk coming out, grabbing their stones and sticks, and going about their happy-go-lucky nature and stuff. What is the map like going on here? We've got some wargs on the northern side, which I imagine it's going to be like a mirror kind of thing going on. Yeah, we've got some wargs down here as well for some farming creep. Plenty of trees, plenty of foliage to hang around in, but nothing too major, crazy, or serious. Everyone's just getting up their economy buildings at the moment. What are you going to go for first and foremost, Mr. Bister? You are just exclusively you're going to go for a clan steading. So not the massive Urukai opening like we say, that they usually save that for later as far as I understand it, because they're quite expensive. And what are you going to go for first? You're going to go for some regular bounders. Bounders and flounders, like angry, tiny policemen, I imagine. They always make me think of... Now, I know that the policemen, or should I say the bobbies, back in Victorian London, I know they look nothing like these guys, but it's probably hard to see from this angle, but we'll have them stand still a bit. But they'd always remind me of those kinds of guys, back before the official policeman uniform was out and ready, and they just went out in just generally smart clothes and hit people with sticks. It's exactly what the bounders do. Love some sticks, can also equip themselves with the rock throw mode if they want to get in range combat. We'll be able to see some wild men. In fact, actually, first thing we see is a couple of wild men of Dunlun, double axes, quite tall as well. These guys are going to walk straight past them, probably doing a bit of scouting, a little bit of reconnoitering, seeing what's going on. And of Isengard, we're going to go for a second clan of steading. So there's probably a reason why they're building these things next to each other. I wonder if there's like a available terrain. I assume there's some sort of bonus that you can get when you build things next to each other. We're going to see the first squad of other kind of scouts coming out. And yeah, what is that? A cost of 318 compared to the Dunlun Warriors, which is 200. So a little bit more expensive. Can't quite exactly catch up with those Brelanders though, or those Bounders, wherever they've gone. Already doing a loop effect. Loop-de-loop, getting 2 lads in there as well. Let's see if they can catch up with them. Go and get them. But no, they're just too nimble, too quick. Scouts there, they've got some ranged weaponry on the go, if they decide to fire. There we are. 1 volley, 1 hobbit goes down, sadly. Sinking into the ground. Are you sinking into the ground? You are indeed. The marshlands claiming another of the free folk. But, yeah, like I said, probably just some scouting. Oh, seeing these dudes. Can I spin around? I can. Here we go, we've got loving farmers. These guys with the big BDSM paddles. These Brelanders, these wildmen have been naughty boys. They're going to get a spank. But sadly the hobbits spanked much more significantly with those 3-pronged farming piece of equipment. Wildmen going to come down over this side. No one's gone for the wargs as of yet, although he says that. These Breland Townsguard report in with... Well, looks like to be Aragon, but it's not Aragon. Definitely not Aragon. Just a dark-haired, tall man. Going to see a Took Archer squad. Potentially going to provide some range bonuses for these guys. These guys are also able to be stealth when they're standing near trees as well. So that's potential for harassment and flanking stuff. Although sadly getting caught in close combat by the mad lads of the north running through. But thankfully the building here is able to fire some decent shots off at people. Scouts just getting whatever kills they can. The less units that these guys have available to them, the less map presence that they can have. And I do believe, was there some... Yeah, there's some buildings that you can capture from the north, and I do believe from down here as well. If you can get past the cave trolls, which will then allow you to recruit specific units for that general area. Not sure who Rivendell or Isengard can summon from them. It'll all be cool all the same. Mass amounts of madmen. Got spears, axes, supported by those Uruk-hai scouts. And I do believe that we're only going to see Uruk-hai scouts for the vast majority of this early game. He says, yep, just because they're fast and nimble and they are a ranged option. And I don't think the Wildmen have much of a ranged option. They've got some axe throwers, but that is level 2. And I don't know if upgrading yourself to level 2 this early in the game is necessarily a good thing. We do have that Isengard thing going on. That was a wild chant. 25% extra damage and armor for 60 seconds. Have we gone for anything as well? A Tagado hide. That's a elvish phrase, I imagine. Does exactly the same thing, more or less. Is it the same thing? By Jove, it more or less is. Crazy. So, basically negating each other's buff. But it does seem that Isengard has came out on top. Also got 2 squads with a level up as well, so they will be able to regain some lads if they start of combat for some length of time. And some Dunedain Outriders. So that's what I quite like about the Rivendell forces, is that they kind of start with hobbits, and as the game gets more and more serious, they bring out the bigger boys. And as long as these guys can stay away from the pikemen, which they have absolutely failed in the first goings. Oh no, dear oh dear. Get those horses out of there, young man. Do not want that in your life at all. Focus on the... What are you? You are a Rivendell Forge. Leaves going everywhere. Also got a tower. Some description on this side. Oh, no, it's not a tower. It's part of the foliage. These guys are quite decent at destroying builds. One at level 2. Scenery is also another deal damage to enemy structures. So Wildmen are ideal for harassing those buildings. That's what their MO is. Might be a little bit weaker in combat when compared to other units, but like I say, they get that bonus. Got Shaku charging in. Getting those Rangers of the North occupied. Also now surrounded by the Wildmen, so they've got nowhere to hide or run. But thankfully the Hobbit took archers. Focus firing on Shaku. Has got his powerful wargs there, but look at them. Send in the wargs. And what was that ability? That was some ability from a hero. Not sure what heroes these guys have gone for. But sadly, it does not have the hero options at the bottom when you select one of the lads. Which is slightly annoying, but that's okay. We could just guess what people are doing. I don't need to know what's going on as a caster. I'm just showing you what's going on. You're in for the ride with us, I imagine. Lots of Breland Towns Guardsmen. Just in case any Warg Riders come knocking about. Seeing this happy little orchard. Going to be ignored by Wildmen at the moment. Oh no, never mind, they're going to turn around, and there we go. Start bashing. Don't have the upgrades at the moment for level 2. And the horses just charging straight in. Before these guys were able to get a proper defense up. Just killing a few models. Also not being supported by a fair number of archer units. This squad of Dunedain, or should I say Rangers of the North, now level 3. Able to swap to swords, but it does cost them some money. And also can equip spears as well, so a very versatile unit are the Rangers of the North. Able to take on any kind of threat, should they wish or need. Also, they gain 15% plus armor when near hobbits, so quite good in the sense that you've got to kind of pile up your units together. You've got to make sure there's a rainbow coalition of free folk to get their maximum bonuses. I was going to see some more Brelanders. Oh, this picture always makes me think that the Brelander Towns Guardman is playing a kazoo. Which I know that's not the case, but I kind of hope it is. Kind of hope that they just march into battle playing some fine northern tunes on their kazoo. Got some lads over here. Warg encampment being brought down over here. This side has been firmly in the hands of the Rivendell folk. Cave trolls been taken out, and soon the cave itself will be no more. Gold over here to be taken by the Brelanders if they really want it. Down this side, Shaku is just chilling out, regaining his health, making sure that these dudes are fairnessing to their heart's content. Cave troll over here yet to be sundered or harried. What's going on in the bases at the moment? It's more Uruk-hai scouts. No major structures at the moment. Nothing in the core neither, just those furnaces. And, yeah, nothing too crazy. Although we do have a what are you called? A well of Celebrian, for healing purposes, no doubt. And also, we've got Gildor Iglorian, who's probably a magic man. He's got a companion. Hobbits near Gildor gain 33% plus damage, armor, and experience. So ideal to have him in the middle of all your hobbits, but he's going to hide in some bushes. Just watch him from a distance. Whatever you're into, Gildor, we don't judge, but we'll... In fact, we do judge. But not too much. Got that. War chant on the go. Also got a lot of powers saved up. These dudes over here, the Sons of Elrond, unlocks Illidan and Elifor on the Dunedain gathering passive power. So, I assume those are heroes that can gather for good reasons, although not enough defense people over here. Elfman is going to run away as quickly as humanly possible. No chance of him being caught out of position, potentially. Down this side, a huge engagement going on. The wild men having a wild old time. And a good frontline skirmish from both players here. A good backing units as well. It does seem that the Brelanders are having a bit of a difficult time. But we do have more in the way of ranged support over on this side. Level 5 Rangers of the North over here as well. Gonna fall back. Hopefully gonna try and keep these boys alive as much as possible. After all, losing a level 2 squad is not great. The higher a squad's level, the more painful it is when you get that squad wipe done to you. Now horses in a... Oh, what's it called? The spearhead formation. Alexander the Great would be turning his grave right now if he knew that. I couldn't remember what that formation was called. They're going to chase around things and just be a general bad man. Oh, if I right-click, I can change things around like this. That's much more smooth. Oh-ho! Look at this. Pardon me if I'm giving you vertigo, but... Look at that. It's like we're on that... It's like we're on a track ride of some description at Disneyland. That small world after all one. Horses bashing around the furnace. Hillmen are going to come and try and stop them with their long pikes. Also, we're going to try and escape, but now caught between two spiky units. And very quickly do they die if they're caught within range of pikemen. And we have got Illidan. Illidan the man. Coming in, also bringing in a friend as well. This woman, she's doing things. They're able to do stuff. Leadership for... If they're together, they're able to help each other. Also grant a lot of bonuses to Bree men and... Oh, Bree men? Men who eat lots of Brie, probably. So yeah, the Rivendell forces really benefit, like I said, a million times by now. Just having all their friends together. The power of teamwork, the power of friendship, that is what Rivendell is. And that's why they're certainly one of my favourite factions in Age of the Ring. We're now seeing, what are you? You are Tainted Land, 50% damage to... Oh, 50% plus damage being given by all allied units and 50% armour. And resources for kills. It's been really useful for farming some resources. We've got some horses flanking around the side. Hope they're going to go for those archers, maybe. Got some bounders back, bounding in. And more big stuff going on either side at the moment. Hard to really tell who's on whose side, considering that everyone's the same kind of colour. Everyone's this grey mesh. But some trees coming in. I do believe that you are the... Oh, where are you? Some ability that basically summons trees. And happy elves! Oh, look at this! Nodal exiles! Singing us up a storm. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Coming in and... Only a temporary unit. But they pack a mean punch. All the same. Lots of shinies. Horsemen getting involved as well. And even though they're fighting on tainted ground, I do imagine that those trees were an ability that kind of like negates that bonus. But good stuff all the same. Archers now being ran over. Although managing to survive, actually. The health of the Urukai. Quite often you see, basically whenever archers get run over, they die instantly. But the Urukai managing to use their impressive health and armour to stay alive during that cavalry charge. It's now raining, I do believe. Freezing rain. What does that do? That minus 25 damage to enemies and minus 20 armor. Also nullifies enemy leadership. Extinguishes all fires. If anyone was on fire, that'd ruin their day. And this lasts for, I do believe, was it 3 minutes to say it? It covers a map in rain for 3 minutes. So no matter where these guys go, there will be a negative bonus to them. Gotta be very careful with their engagements now.
Brother, I leave it to you.
Still just pure scouts at the moment. Scouts and madmen. Do have Wolfgar. So potential for some... what do you call them? Viking units. For life of me, cannot remember what they're called. Got another Uruk-hai pit, and they're going to go for level 2. So some fighting Uruk-hai, as well as Uruk-hai crossbowmen. And this is when Isengard are really going to start shining. Sure, at the moment, are they terrifying? Absolutely. A big ball of madness and death, but soon to be an efficient ball of madness and death. We'll see some more Rangers of the North. Might need to see some high-level elves on the pitch. No unexpected parties at the moment, which is really sad. Even if I click on it, no one will come out to play. Building a lot of them, actually. Remember that as they go for levels up and whatnot, they are able to build things faster. We do have, what were you coming out of the field? You are Alabrad Dunadan. Lots of Dans. Orchard been taken out. But more inspiring war chants from the Uruk-hai. Heroes on the front lines, though, might be able to hold off these guys for long enough. But even though the heroes are still taking in a significant amount of damage, been stunned by something there. Oh, that was Lertz. And I imagine, there we go, that was his crippling ability. Pins an enemy hero in place for 15 seconds. A large cavalry charge on this side. Knocking down a fair few boys. Actually, like I say, still not quite killing them. Also being able to bring back quite a lot of their health with some sort of ability. That was Orcish Medicine from what's your face? Ulguk, even. Even Wormtongue, I think that was there. Being killed it. Another cavalry charge. There's a lack of pikemen at the moment. Got some over on this side, but not so much on... oh, you've got one squad there. Another one on this side. My goodness, my gracious, this rain is really ruining their day. But thankfully, sunshine is back out. A bright day. A sunny day. As the Uruk-hai just shine like a diamond. More hobbitses coming out. In fact, double hobbitses. Just getting anything and everything just to push these guys back. But they've done their damage. They can fall back now. Have you killed these things yet? No, I mean, they kind of get some Hunters of the Chetwood. Stealth nature is good against infantry, but they could also just deny themselves. Killing some more forges. Forges as well, do remember that not only do they give people upgrades, but they can also farm resources as well. It's always good to keep in mind that. Pure ranged forces going on here. Apart from the hobbits on the front lines, but the hobbits have now been well and truly burned. Horses coming in from the flanks. Wonderful. Constant harassment from the back lines here. Uruk-hai must be shaking like a shitting dog every time they see or hear the galloping of hoofs. Pikemen not quite able to keep up with them, but managing to snag a couple of these lads, knocking them over but not quite killing them. And been inspired, going to run back a lot quicker now. So very good stuff. What kind of resource we've got going on? We've got lots of power for the... oh, I was about to call them Eldar. From the Uruk-hai, from Isengard. And the heroes, they've got a little less power, but they have bought a lot more units. And, sorry, a lot more powers. Got the Blessings of Ulmer. Temporary covers the map in rain, but this is like cancels freezing rain. All friendly units slowly heal for 30 seconds. Archers gain 25% plus armor for 3 minutes. So, that's nice. Not as impressive, I'll be honest, if it only heals people for 30 seconds. At least protects those buildings. They've been constantly harried by the forces of Isengard so far. Hobbits coming forward, only level 1. No, they're not going to win against the fighting Uruk-hai. Super duper deadly units. Can also go for the shield wall formation if they're just there to hunker down. Actually doing alright, but then again that is because the Watchers from the north are shooting them down quite quickly, quite sharpishly. Down on the southern side, we are seeing more pikemen. Got Saruman. Level 2, not super impressive, but when it gets to end game, able to gain control of target enemies for 30 seconds with the voices of Kuranir. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, which I know for a fact I'm definitely not. Also able to basically summon a large, powerful lightning bolt. Seen that kill entire armies before. All goes relatively quiet. A nice relaxing rain to accompany the battle today as both of these forces anchoring for position. Sharku pressing forward. He's level 8 now. What do you have? You've got summons the wild warg matriarch to the battlefield. She's hostile to all but Sharku, so bit of a mad lad. Something that's potentially just as dangerous for his own army as his allies. Man-Eater can also kill a target, which restores 50% health to Sharku's thing. Lots of bonuses there. Now these guys do have access to Elrond. He's quite a decent chap in the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of stuff. And do we have? We have got Elrond's library. Elrond's library, so decent upgrades for everyone going on there. I mean, what he's currently researching, the Lay of Lefian, allows the Grey Company to be purchased from the Dunedain Gathering. So more elite units. Rivendell have the potential for the most elite units, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. More rain, good lord. No one likes the rain. We now have a significant amount of Uruks in the base. Where did you come from, boys? Oh, we've got Gandalf. They shall not pass. Look at that guy. I don't know where he was. Ah, there he was. The Grey Wizard. They're only in there temporarily. I do believe he's only a temporary force. There we go. The Grey Pilgrim. He comes out. He's got access to. We put on a cart, but he's dead now. And the HQ goes down. So what are these guys going to do in the meantime? I suppose they could build another one if they've got the resources for it. Do you have the resource for it? Not quite. But it's not the end. I don't know how these guys got down there, but fire coming over on this side. We've also got significant amounts of hobbitses and men over on this side. So potential base trade overall.
We bring word from
Got the Grey Company. Where are you? You are over. Are you the Grey Company? You are! It's like Gondorians, but they're on holiday. They're away from the main place. I do believe. And the actual building bashing potential for these guys, when they're all spread out, they're trying to get everything down at the same time, but it's a little bit slow. Might be worth swapping their base at this point. We're building up a HQ back at home. But in our new home, the new home of I mean, maybe. Crazier things have happened, I imagine. Got the Bremen chasing around these Grey Companies. Got some invisible dudes. What are you? Let me swap over to regular sight. Got some more Rangers of the North. Actually, managing to stave off the assault. We do have Aragon. Quite a powerful unit, or hero.
Do not stop till nightfall.
They do not stop till nightfall. Huge movement speed increase. These guys, they thought they were going to take the hobbits to Isengard. And well, the hobbits are definitely coming to Isengard, just not in the way that they expected. Get him good, Aragon. He's like, oh shit, I've used all my magic, I'm sorry. Please be gentle. Thankfully that Isengard's defended this area, still got their fortress. So they can just hold back and chill out. Seems that this is a desperate last kind of push. If they're going to win, they've got to hit hard and hit fast. Saruman has been killed. And murder on high. Ugluk looking to keep away from Aragon. Where are you going, Aragon? Oh, you're not Aragon, you're someone else. You're a different guy. Lert's been shot by a multitude of arrows. Lert goes down. And now the Bremen seeing if they can shirk off these Rangers. It does look like it. So what's going on down here? Have you got any more builders? You do have a builder. So you can potentially rebuild stuff. You've got the economy still for it. But they're constantly spending on other things. I mean, maybe they don't necessarily need it. As long as you keep those builds alive. And just hold on for a hero. Dunedain Outriders on the way out, as well as the revive Eladan and Elefaurin. Rivendell Forge and a Breland encampment down here being spotted by the mad lads of Isengard. Here come the Rangers. led on by Gildor. Only a few hobbits left, but they are level 3. Also summoning some fancy schmancy singing elfy dudes. Love the sound effects and the singing in this game. That's the one thing Dawn of War is missing out on. It's just happy singing people. But I suppose in the grim darkness of the far future, no one really sings apart from the Sisters of Battle. That's not really singing, that's just hymns. I will not accept a hymn as a real song. I was in school once when I had to sing hymns in the morning. Don't get me wrong, the songs were a bop. The song slapped, as the youth would say these days, but not quite to my taste anymore. Also horses. On the northern side, we've also got pikemen of the Urukai variety. Big explosion from Saruman, and that is all the Rangers dead. Gotta be very careful when bunching up your units. Even this dude being killed did. Do you believe that was Saruman, or was that just general ability? Wrath of Caradhras. Oh, okay, summon an avalanche. That was not Saruman. That was just a regular old ability. Yes, guys, have you got any abilities left? You've got fair bit of power. You believe their big end game powers are 25 power, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong though. All these guys have been very polite, not wanting to get in front of each other as they try and take down the forge. Over here we have got Eladan skipping through the forest. That's what he does best. Also been chased away by the pikemen. But they have managed to take down that furnace. Death by 1,000 cuts. If they could just keep moving, keep away, just jump in, slash things down, jump back out. What kind of resource are people floating on at the moment? 1,000 for the Force of Isengard and 800, should be 1,000 for the Forces of Rivendell. Are seeing a Isengard war camp. This is another place where they're able to summon more dudes. Allows them to reinforce in areas close to the enemy's camp, although it does seem like they've been using it as a defensive measure. The economies for either player, they're not super impressive at the moment, so they're going to be careful with what they have on the field and what they bring to the table, whether they lose forces or not. Each engagement takes a little bit more out of them each time. Unless, of course, they're able to keep their production buildings up, which it does not seem like either player is doing an amazing job of that at the moment. But it is a big map. Lots of terrain to get in the way of. Level 1 Rangers. Been chased away. Well, not been chased away, just having a bit of a problem with Sharku, but Sharku quite low on health now. Everyone running forward. Or backwards, depending on how you look at it. And while this is going on, we do have the horses. I will just come back over here. Okay, you've taken your really slow manoeuvring forces over on this side, and we're going to bring our horses and smack things up over here. Now, the Uruks can have access to some cavalry of their own in the form of Warg Riders, but they do come in their own individual building. There's some tainted land, as well as some nasty cold rain, and a war chant, so all the abilities going off at once. So the Uruks definitely going for a major push here. Big war chanting, meat is back on the menu. And what does that do? That does stuff, I imagine. Orcish medicine, no doubt adding to the tenacity of the fighting Urukai. Elves and Grey Wardens, or what you call not Grey Wardens, Grey Company are going to fall back from that position. See what they can do. Nothing major at the moment. The Statue of Gilligad. Also, here we are. So this, what you call the Rivendell Dormitory. It's where they can get their super duper amazing elven units. But can they survive long enough to be able to get it? Don't think so. Rangers falling back. Not quite going to take them on. Down this side, though, pikemen chasing away the horses. So one problem with horses, only takes a small amount of pikemen to be able to scare them completely and totally off. More Tuck archers. Ready to open fire at a moment's notice. Eladad and Dilladad, whatever they're called. Moving backwards and forwards. Rangers not quite getting out of there in the nick of time. Also not being surrounded by more pikemen. a dangerous game Rivendell's playing. It's a dangerous game indeed. Not rebuilding what they lost. But they don't. I assume they just thought they didn't have enough time. Now these guys are being prevented from actually moving out. So all these guys are on the backside, trying to sneak outside of the encampment. Aren't able to get their full use off. But here we are, some got some elves. They're coming in. Ooh. And they're singing some songs, gaining some armor for 15 seconds. I've got some proper elves. Makari, or the Masari. Sounds like a good curry to me. It's a crow banner, which I assume you do things. Is that a crow banner? Was that for you? No. Do you have a crow banner? No. But there's loads of things off cooldown, so potential to bring that back out. And Gandalf, the Wanderer, still able to make a big choice or a big difference, but actually bringing out a lot of units, just managing to hold back. Wait to amass those squads first before engaging. And actually, Isengard has now been pushed back all the way. What an exciting turn of events. Wolfgar being a brave man and running away. But now the counterattack from Isengard. Sharku still yet to bring forth the Warg Matriarch. And finally that raid ends. God, that 3 minutes feels like it goes on for a long, long time. We've also got some units sneaking around down here, killing some more furnaces. Now at the moment, it seems like Isengard have not really expanded all that much across the map. Actually, we've got some orchards, or orchids, however you want to pronounce them, on the Isengard side of the field. Got some inspiring nonsense, some shiny lights. Elves doing some singing. Some wargs being sent round straight over there. And the porcupine ball of Isengardians. Not a great target for these guys to get involved in. Do a lot of damage, but round on this side, oh yeah, there's just surgical precision. Precision even. Coming in, smash a forge, run away. Chorus of all the blimies. High level tactics going on here. Now Isengard can't really do anything. They run away from the base for too long. The horses will just keep on going at them, which then leaves these guys time to replenish and recuperate. What are the floats at the moment? 2,000 for Isengard. And 5,000 for the Force of Good. So to get some more powers, I imagine. Also potential shenanigans for them to get up to. Horsemen running away after I assume another forge has gone down, or furnace. And it's a sticky situation. Would it make sense to, as you're going forward and you're assaulting things, to build up your economy buildings where you're moving? So that way you've got less things to be harassed on the back lines. And you can just come back as and when you are required. That might be the way forward. That might be the way forward. It could be also a terrible tactic, because I do not know how to play this game at all. I've yet to actually play a PvP game myself, but that's because I have no time to play games. When you get to my age, boys and girls, playing video games is... it just doesn't happen. I don't even have an excuse. I've got no kids. This is my hobby. I just don't do it. I just go to the gym sometimes and like to go to bed at a reasonable time. So what, go to bed at a reasonable time? That is the biggest time sink ever. What a pain that I've got to be unconscious for like 8 hours a day. Maybe even more. But the Force of Rivendell moving forward. Taking a few shots at these guys. In fact, actually the Hillmen at this stage are not staying alive for very live at all. Big war shot on one side. Inspiring noises from the frontline elves. And they are just slicing and dicing. But round the flanks, we are seeing some cheeky Urukai scouts. No one saw them coming. These lads will try and politely ignore them, but more tainted land. Cooldown for that's quite short by the sounds of it. And the elves are just being cut down to ribbons, unable to retreat. Smashed to a pulp. They have managed to bait out 2 of those special abilities there. And the forces of Rivendell still have... Actually, why can I not see... Oh, I was on cooldown. I've just not used them. That's frustrating. Or do I go the other way? No, never mind. Oh, right, for some reason, if I go the other way, it shows me them. So, they've got the Blessings of Ulmer. The Great Pilgrim's been used recently, but he must have died straight away in that engagement. Or he's knocking around somewhere, maybe. Rivendell Forge, once again, smashed down. It's all about positioning for Rivendell. They've got a lot of stake and resources being popped into the... Oh my goodness! It's Tom Bombadil! Look at him go! Having a gay old time. I'm reading the books at the moment and I've just got to the bit where Frodo and the gang meet Tom Bombadil. So I'm quite excited to see what happens in the books. They've all been frozen in time by the might of music. I'm just going to come around and just bop them all gently until they all die. Sing them a song, Mr. Willow. He knows a song or two for every occasion and event. The whole Isengard force, with the exception of these cheeky boys on the flanks, have been taken out. A couple of them have fallen back. A squadron of heroes just chilling out, talking about what their next strategy is. Horsemen everywhere, but must keep away from those pikemen. Cannot even deign a moment of combat with them. They will die more or less straight away. They seem to be having a bit of difficulty actually engaging in combat with those furnaces. If that charge is not favourable to you, young man, run away as best you can. Rangers of the North charging forward, looking for that Sharku kill. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when a hero dies, and they're level 10, they do come back as level 10, but they're a lot more expensive. Yeah, but this Sharku just been bonked and knocked down straight away as these Rangers have equipped themselves with these spears. Some... I mean, whatever you call these. I imagine that's a... Oh, that's what you do. So, summons a crowd battle for 90 seconds. Gives enemies 20% less armor, 25% less damage. Also summons a temporary battalion of Aduna lending plus scars if he is level 8. Which is not. So it didn't. I was running away, tail in between their legs. From the charging Urukai. And these guys still knocking around. The constant level of harassment must be very frustrating for the Urukai player here. Or the Isengard player. They're not just Urukai, are they? But no switching up. I mean, I imagine getting a couple of units of Warg Riders, if anything, just to pester and bother these range units, or at least defend home a little bit. We've seen it time and time again from Rivendell, how they just flank in with some good units. Some trees being summoned forth. These guys do not want to engage in combat on that kind of hallowed ground, so they will retreat once again. Grey Company and all that sort, casually sifting through the seedy underbelly of Isengard. Current economies are about 1,000 on that side, and about 2,000 on that side. Ice there. We've missed it, but it certainly killed whatever that elite force was. Sad time for everyone. Sad time for everyone indeed. Now these guys are well and truly in the corner. Losing so much in such a short space of time. Gonna do what they can. At least distract these guys while the reinforcements are built up. But death to all free men of the West. And I keep on forgetting I can right click and swan over this way rather than doing it like this. It's unsteady way. Forgive me, I'm still learning all the mechanics here. Oh, they've rebuilt the conservatory. I like it, they call it a conservatory. That's lovely. Also get some bird friends if they want. I like all the units actually called Bird Friend. Pretty sweet, pretty neat. Seeing some more Makari brought forth. Yeah, no room for hobbits anymore. The fire's got that serious. Do see a Doofy Doodad. People standing near it gain 25% damage, armor, and 33% more experience. Also immune to fear and terror. Isengard just slowly, like I said at the beginning of the game, the ball of Uruk-hai. Find that builder, strike him down. And it's going to be quite a serious bout of fisticuffs. Potentially the game decider. Factory is taken down by a huge lot of water. Giving those boys a wash. Again, that's why you try and avoid having all your army in one big ball. Rain's coming down. Uruk-hai come from nowhere. But then also some shiny boys coming out as well. And yeah, that is the whole Uruk-hai army, more or less, wiped out. Once again, do they have the time to really go back over there though, and kill them before they've got the fighting army back? The Uruk-hai, they've got plenty of recruitment buildings to work with, so won't hold my breath. We've got a commanding position now, a flanking force of horses moving on the right hand side. A strong front line of elves. Also got a powerful backline as well. Seeing a researched blackened plate. Oh, sorry, no, that's not what you're called. You're called an armory. Ignore me. What are you guys doing? Just doing your usual. Also trying to be shot down by this lookout tower. On its own won't do all that much. Got one squad of pikemen left in the base for posterity's sake. That's quite a tight, compact squad. Several squads even. This would be the ideal target. Could they get them? More war chanting. As the shiny silver armour of the elves is battered by the blackened steel of the Uruk-hai. Some more Malabran Dunedain is the Ban of Arwen. That's a lot of horsemen coming around the side there. Can they wipe out the front line? Not quite able to get in there, but get a few as they're strolling through. Horn of Gondor being... Oh, that's not Horn of Gondor. That is the Bird Banner. Giving a debuff to all the goodies in that area. Can they stand up to it? Does not look like it. Gonna fall back again. Of course, the blimeys. No one could quite get the upper hand that they really want or need. Elven City there, looking quite pretty. I'm also getting a fair few people from... What are you guys doing? You're just patrolling around the conservatory. Anything cool on this side? No, not really. Not really at all. Things have been built up. Isengard expanding down the centre. Like I say, easy to defend that way. Also can make use of this natural cover as well to protect any flanking forces. Have seen an orchard next to a... Oh, what are they bloody called? Next to an armory. They can change that, they can fix it. Well, it takes a few pikemen to take down an orchard. And the forge soon to be wiped out as well, if all things go well. But the forces of Rivendell aren't going to take it lying down for the whole whirlwind being summoned. Just a current of wind annihilating. It's just pure Uruk-hai now. There is no extra human nonsense for Isengard. We've made the transition. And more of these... What is that ability actually called? What is the name of it? That Song of Finwë. I'll tell you what, Finwë is not great from the perspective of the Uruk-hai. Usually means you've got bladder problems if you've got a Finwë. I apologise. Apologise for the dad jokes, but, you know, one day it might happen. Let's running away. High heavens. A little bit of health. Carrying him as fast as little Uruk legs will carry him. But Elrond, man. He's... Why are you running? Why are you running? Look at him, he's just ever so slight catching up, but gonna have to give up there, I'm afraid. Intimidating stuff. You do not want to get involved in a fight with Elrond. What do you do, in fact? It's all still. There we go. So what we just saw there was the Ring of Air. Creates a circular sanctuary ground for Elrond, 30 seconds. And... Oh, were you not the tornado? What was a tornado then? It was something. He has 50% attack. 30 seconds also knocks down people in splash. While allies near Elrond gain 25% damage and armor. And experience twice as fast. Very deadly boy to have around. It does seem that Rivendell's got so many buffs for their units. Let's, what have you got? You've got toggle weapons, leader of the hunt. Oh, so, alright, so alerts can only affect Uruk-hai units, which I suppose in the late game, by Isengard, doesn't really matter. Level 10 there. Uruk-hai chief, permanently gains 50 plus armor. There's not a push around as alerts. Not a push around at all. Some level 5 horses. Get to snipe anything around the flanks. It's got some flanking maneuvers going on down here as well. I must say this Isengard player must be going absolutely bonkers in the brain. There's a sheer amount of harassment coming in from both sides at all times. And the rain being cancelled out by the... We've got the bad rain and the good rain. This is the good rain. As you can tell, because it's less dark. Also been shot at by some flaming arrows on this lookout tower. And there's just a never ending. If I actually, the Isengard force have now gone back to using Wildman spears. Is your economy that bad? Half of what the... The float was half of... Oh, about the same now. But I imagine that Rivendell's probably got a lot more economy on the go, considering that their map control is a lot better. This cave troll still alive. Still alive, gosh darn it. And finally, we have got the wargs. Oh, that's just a sentry. What's some actual wargs, man? Send out your warg riders. Do some counter-harass. Poor Aragorn is stuck in the middle. Stunned by alerts. But he doesn't mind, on the front lines where he wants to be. Slice him down. Also heal nearby allied heroes. And Tom Bombadil. Show me how it's done, Tom Bombadil. Locking everyone up in midair. I love that. Just going around hunting people around the shops. And he's always singing. Always got a song in his mouth. It's Tom Bombadil. And it seems that essentially he's fighting Uruk-hai down here. I mean, these guys are being kept in check by the wargs and by Sauron, or Saruman even. Boshing people around the noggin. A mighty stick. No one going to... Ooh, that was quite a big swing as well, but they are going to get him down eventually. He's not meant for frontline combat. Down this side, the Isengard fortress soon to be knocked down. Madness and sadness. And here comes Gandalf as well, so lots of multiple special heroes just bringing home the pain. Gandalf's got a lot of things going on for him. Can get into a cart, heals nearby enemies. Can also add some nearby buffs to archers. It does seem like... Oh, we've got a little one of you. Hall of Fire. You do things. Research books. Song of Doom. Challenger Morgoth. They all do stuff, I imagine. But Rivendell comes out victorious today. So like I said, lots of sideways shuffles and harassment. Cutting down the forces of Isengard gradually over a period of time. But good game done by all. So thank you so much for coming. If you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 off gets you one extra game of Dawn of War a week. And there's also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As for Mr. Lunchshark, pleasure as always, never short, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.